Hello and welcome to my review of WWE Money in the Bank 2017 that was last night. So, let's get straight into it. The way I'm going to lay this out, in case you never listened to one of my reviews before, because they're not the most consistent thing, is I'll talk about each match in order and what happened and my thoughts. But also, I did a predictions video yesterday where I also showed the predictions that WWE 2K17, the computer game, the video game, made. And I'll be having a little bit of friendly competition with the game to see who can predict events better. And spoiler alert, it's not always me. So, well, not spoiler alert, but potential spoiler alert. Don't think for a second, oh, well, obviously you're going to out-predict a game. Nope, not every time. Anyway, the pre-show. Now, I didn't know this match on the pre-show was happening, so there was no official prediction. There was no simulation video. I don't think it was pre-announced. I'm not the best at keeping up with stuff like that, but to the best of my knowledge, it was announced on the pre-show. I'm not sure. Maybe it was. So correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. But I made a few notes. The match itself was alright. I was personally hoping for a Zack Ryder heel turn. I thought that might give Singles Run Mojo Rawley something to do. Might have made Zack Ryder a bit more interesting and a bit less stale. Also, it'd give me a legitimate reason to hate Zack Ryder instead of just I hate the character because I hate the man playing the character. So, you know, I was hoping for that. I don't know if I was necessarily expecting it, but as soon as I saw the match and the bit, you know, and the little video package explaining how it came together, I thought he's looking a little bit heelish. Like, I don't know, just the way he was acting was a little bit less than I would have expected from that situation in terms of excitement. So I was sort of hoping for a heel turn, but not really expecting one. The Hype Bros won, predictably, as if they were ever going to lose that match. I also made one other note, which is Booker T is painful to listen to when he speaks. It's just, I don't know. I really don't enjoy Booker T on commentary. I don't enjoy him on the pre-show panels. I don't enjoy him when he's speaking, basically. I just think he needs to ride off into the sunset, but go backstage, become an agent, do something like that, but just don't talk on camera anymore, like, in my opinion. Anyway, that's enough about the pre-show, because that's literally all I have for the pre-show. So, they opened the show with the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, which I did think was a possibility for my little bit of fantasy booking during the predictions video. If you haven't watched that yet, I really like that little theory, so I'd really appreciate it if you went and checked it out, and let me know what you thought of that in the comment section of that video. But it didn't come true anyway, my fantasy booking, and I didn't expect it to actually. But I just really enjoyed coming up with the little idea, so I thought I'd see if any of you guys listening to this would like to check it out. Anyway, Women's Money in the Bank. It was a good match. It wasn't the best Money in the Bank match ever or anything like that. I wrote down didn't hold back. They did a few spots. I think I wrote that quite early when they'd done a couple of big bumps, but overall it was quite tame, I think. The ending. Wow, I was live tweeting this thing, so I was seeing some reactions, you know, and reactions being retweeted. People did not like the reaction, and guys, I got news for you. James Ellsworth and Carmella are heels. You're meant to not like that, and it was perfect. I loved the ending of that match. As soon as it happened, I was like, yes, that is spot on. In my prediction video, I talked about how it had never happened where someone not in the match had technically won the match. Now, it's not quite what I meant, and it's not the same match I was even talking about, but still, it was a step towards that potential confusing finish. But, you know, well, it was a confusing finish. You know, the referees certainly looked confused. I actually predicted a Carmella win, and the video game predicted a Becky Lynch win, so that would be 1-0 to me, my friends. So that's 1 on the scoreboard, predictions, 1 out of 1 for me, and 0 out of 1 for the game, which is lovely. I like when I'm winning. But yeah, I thought the match overall was good. I thought the ending was amazing, and I think a lot of people that consider themselves smart wrestling fans got thoroughly worked by the ending because they were so angry, just like people used to be angry when someone beat down Hulk Hogan. You know, it's just the same thing. It's the same thing. You've just been worked. That's all I have to say. Anyway, on to the Tag Team Championships match. Now, I don't remember exactly what I said in my predictions video, but I did allude to the fact that the Usos could very well retain the titles through underhanded, nefarious means, such as being counted out or disqualified. So I kind of called this, but I did officially, I think, predict an Usos win. Technically. So I'm not going to give myself the score here, but the game predicted an Usos win as well. So the score's still 1-0, because it doesn't make much difference either way. So I didn't have much of a dilemma about it, because we both went the same way. So we were either both right or both wrong. So it makes no difference to the overall ratio. Well, it does make a difference to the ratio. It makes no difference to who wins overall, basically. It's not gonna switch the result or turn the win into a draw or whatever. So, yeah, but I kind of called it, I believe. It's a good way to continue the feud. I thought the match was good. There was a lot of very close false finishes, including one where I think it was just after a big ending that was a little bit... Was it that big ending that was a bit botched? I don't know if it was, actually. Maybe not. But either way, Big E botched a bit of a big ending, just didn't quite catch him right, which was a shame because it would have been a good spot. But also, there was a big ending where the other Uso... I honestly don't know which one's which. But the other Uso jumped in and broke it up. And it was definitely after the 3 should have been. You know, it was like 1, 2, broken up. You know, there was definite, like, slightly longer pause between 2 and the breakup than there was between 1 and 2. But he just about reached it in time. But there was a lot of very close false finishes. It was a lot of fun. I'll be honest, the first couple of matches and the pre-show, I was doing a lot of live tweeting, which if you can follow me on Twitter, the link's in the description below. And I quite often live tweet pay-per-views, you know, as long as I stay up for them, I'll probably live tweet them. However, today, my phone died, and I was watching this alone in the other room, and my phone charger was in the bedroom with my sleeping girlfriend, and I don't know if you've ever encountered that sort of situation, guys, where, you know, your girlfriend's up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and you're there at probably 2 o'clock in the morning watching wrestling pay-per-views, and you think, I need to go in there and get my charger. You don't do it, okay? You don't go in and get your charger. So I went the rest of the pay-per-view phoneless, and I was probably better off for it, because I got to watch more of the pay-per-view instead of looking at my phone while live tweeting things. So yeah, that was probably definitely a good thing on my part, actually. So if anyone was on Twitter and interacting with me, and you're wondering, where did he go? Phone died. Sorry about that. Okay, the next match was the women's title match. By the way, I also, other than the match that got interjected, which we'll talk about later, that wasn't pre-announced, I predicted the order of the card. Not that it was an official prediction, but I got that pretty right. Other than the 2 women's matches switched, and I did talk about in my fantasy booking how it might make sense to put the women's Money in the Bank on first. So I almost got that right as well. Like, the women's title match, Lana isn't terrible. I'm not saying she's phenomenal. I'm not saying she's the best women's wrestler ever. Don't get your knickers in a twist in the comment section. But she's not terrible. She's not that bad, guys. I didn't mind this match. It was okay. It wasn't great. It was okay, though. I don't massively rate Naomi as a wrestler. I rate her as an athlete, but I don't rate her as a wrestler as much as a lot of people seem to at the moment. By the way, Carmella coming in was really well done. If it could have, I think they'll keep doing that spot and it'll get smoother, is what I think about that. You know, like, the first time there was a bit too much confusion on her part over whether she was going to cash in. She was like, she looked like she was trying to tease it, but she was trying to tease it so hard that she looked confused a little bit as to whether she was doing this or not, and I don't think that came across the best. But overall, I thought that was a brilliant idea, especially with, you know, Daniel Bryan already having tweeted out and they'd announced it on the show that, you know, oh, we need to sort out this situation. The fact that she could have potentially cashed it in and been champion before they got to sort out the situation was exciting. So I genuinely thought she was potentially going to cash in. But then Naomi won the match and she didn't. She walked away and said, not this time, thank you. So they're probably going to tease that. It's gonna this match that's been on the screen. I don't know if it's still on the screen at the moment. I mean, possibly, but I don't remember how long the match was that I'm currently talking over, because obviously I recorded it separately. But the teasing the feud between Naomi and Carmella, and that it's probably not going to be the main feud because the Money in the Bank holder doesn't tend to feud with the champion as such, but it's going to be like an in the background thing going on. I predicted Naomi to win and was correct, and so did the game, so it was correct. So that was clear cut. So we're gonna go to 2-1 in the predictions game. So I'm still leading, but now it's by 2 correct predictions to 1 out of 3. Okay, on to the next match. Well, the next segment actually was Fashion Vice. I gotta say, I love Breezango. The fashion files, the fashion police thing is great. I think it's brilliant. I enjoyed this segment. It was just as cheesy as it needed to be. That was what they were shooting for, and I loved it. I did. There's not much more to say, but it was a welcome break in the middle. You know that you need some sort of respite from the non-stop kind of action, especially on a pay-per-view that's so like big spot heavy. You know, with all the ladder matches and stuff. It's good to have a little bit of downtime in there, so that was good. But then they went straight to another downtime segment, and this segment was just weird. It was the debut of Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis, or the debut of Maria, in WWE. And Mike Bennett's actually going by Mike Kanellis, presumably so they can own the name, but, you know, so basically he's taken her name, which JBL just... After the segment, when they came out, and it was such a weird segment, because all it was basically a segment where they said, look at us, we're in love with each other. And I thought, it looks like a weird gimmick if it doesn't really go for that. But I'm excited for it. I'm excited for Mike Bennett. I think he's great. Excited for Maria. I think she's great. And I'm still intrigued to see what they do with it. I'm not willing to sort of flush that yet. You know, I want to see what they do with it before I judge it, you know, because we didn't get much last night. JBL, though, just when the commentators were discussing it, just looked at Tom Phillips and was like, he took a name. And he just seemed so disappointed in Mike Bennett for taking Maria's name when they got married. And I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was like proper old man does not approve of new world ways. I just thought it was really funny. But yeah, moving on to the WWE title match, which was a little bit early in the card. I kind of thought it might go on before Money in the Bank, and Money in the Bank male might be treated as the main event. But, you know, there was another match, the unannounced match, in between this and the main event as well. Just sort of understand them doing, but that kind of pushed the WWE title match down into the mid-card. Now, if you're going to try and build a new star using the WWE Championship, you don't push the title down the card, you push the wrestler up the card to the title kind of thing. By the way, the animation for the WWE title, you know, like on the screen it shows you what belt's on the line before the match starts, is brilliant. I absolutely love that. The fact that it comes in just the bejeweled kind of emblem and the shield around it, and you can still see the match through it, and then it kind of fills out black as the strap comes in around the background and stuff. I think that's brilliant. I love that. Just a small note I made because I really felt that was cool. It was a decent match. The finish was just a carbon copy of last time, wasn't it? Last time they fought when Jinder Mahal won the title, I thought. Was that Backlash? I feel like it was at Backlash. But whatever show it was at, it was just exactly the same finish. Randy Orton gets distracted, beats up the Bollywood boys, the Singh brothers, and then gets back into the ring and gets beaten by Jinder Mahal's finisher. And I thought that was really uncreative, unoriginal. Didn't do anything to elevate Jinder any more than the previous match did. You know, the previous match, it was sort of like, yeah, he's won the title, but, you know, ooh, he got a lot of help and he was a bit lucky. And then now and he's retained the title, and ooh, we got a lot of help and he was a bit lucky. And I know, I said in the predictions he probably wasn't going to go over clean, but at least do it somewhat differently. You know, make the interference a little bit less. I liked the bit with the Singh brothers and Bob Orton, and, well, I kind of liked it, except for they just stood there cartoonishly pointing their fist at him at one point, because Randy Orton was clearly slow on the reaching the spot. But but other than it being slightly clumsy, I think is probably what I'm trying to call it. Other than that, I think it was a good idea. It was a good spot, but overall, I feel like they got involved just as much as they did in the previous match, but it didn't do anything to help Jinder Mahal prove that he can hang with Randy Orton. Like, that's just my thoughts on it. But I predicted a Jinder Mahal win, and I was right. The game predicted a Randy Orton win, so that's 3-1 up to me out of 4 matches. So 3 out of 4, and technically, as I said before, kind of got the important bit, which was the Usos leaving with the titles, right on the other one. But I'm gonna call it 3 out of 4. I'm gonna accept that. I'm gonna accept that loss. Okay, The Breezango match was up next, where it followed on from the segment earlier where the culprits of destroying their little fashion police set, their office, sorry, I think, they called it officially, was, sent them a videotape and said, oh, we'll meet you in the ring tonight, and, and all intimidating. And I was kind of excited about this. I thought we could have potentially seen, them come down in hoods and it'd be like a big heel turn reveal for American Alpha. Get them back on TV or something like that. No, it was the Ascension. And I was massively disappointed. I wrote down, quote, Ascension, ? Really, ? Underwhelming. One thing that wasn't underwhelming was their attire, by the way. Not the Ascension, they looked ridiculous as always. And one of them looked pretty fat. I don't remember him being like a fat guy. Maybe stocky and built, but I don't remember him being a fat guy. No, the Breezango attire that said Fashion Popo on the bums of their trunks was just brilliant. I just chuckled at that. I thought that was great. This was obviously a feel-good match because this was a really heel-heavy night. And I wrote this before the Money in the Bank male result. I knew it was going to be a heel-heavy night. And it already had been to a certain extent, but I didn't think it was going to get any better. So this was obviously like the feel-good match, just to let the crowd not feel the marks in the crowd that are really into the all the baby faces. It was to not make them feel too bad, I guess, because we probably all know someone who does genuinely tend to support all the faces, and when they turn heel, stop supporting them, and vice versa. Hate the heels, but then when they turn face, you start supporting them because they're nice now, and I'm not necessarily saying they believe wrestling's real. They just get so engrossed in it, and it must be nice. It must be genuinely fun for them to do this. But they get so kind of engrossed in it that they sort of suspend disbelief, as the saying goes, and they believe it, and they support the good guys, and they hate the bad guys, and that must be fun. So I think that was just to uplift those sort of people, and the marks, like the kids who believe it's real, who want some good guys to win, and Breezango, but Fandango's obviously part of that, are really popular at the moment, so that was a little feel-good moment. So yeah, I feel like that's all that was for. Breezango obviously won. Obviously, when was the last time the Ascension won on a... Have the Ascension ever won on a WWE pay-per-view? Not an NXT takeover or whatever? They just buried, aren't they, beyond... I was going to say beyond reprieve, but so was Jinder Mahal at one point. So you can never say never, but I don't think the Ascension are ever getting anywhere. Right, on to the main event. Last match. The male Money in the Bank ladder match. Corbin made an impact right at the start, taking out Shinsuke. Obviously, you knew Shinsuke was going to come out later in the match, but it was interesting how they sort of protected him for a lot of the match, kept him out of it. When he did come out, I mean, there was a lot of, a lot of fun stuff in the match, but I think my favourite bit of the entire match was when Shinsuke did come out. He cleared house a little bit, and then he set up a ladder, and then he went to climb it, and then the camera was kind of on him, and it panned out, if I remember rightly. And AJ was on the other side of the camera, and they were staring at each other through the camera. And they both picked up the ladder, it's still set up, and moved it to the side, then walked back to the middle of the ring to fight. And I just thought that was really good. Instead of the usual, oh my god, there's someone there, I'd best climb this ladder faster than them, and both people do it and meet at the top and end up fighting. No, they were like, well... I'm not going to get that briefcase until I've fought this man. So let's move this ladder and let's fight. And I thought that was really good. I thought that was such a good spot. The match itself, it was the right result. I'm not just saying that because I predicted it, and that puts me at 4-1 because the game predicted Shinsuke Nakamura to win. I'm saying it was the right result because it was the right result. I'm looking forward to Baron Corbin being Mr. Money in the Bank and eventually, hopefully, being WWE Champion. I think he's definitely a good shout for that. I think that was a really good move on WWE's part. JBL said you could not have... something along the lines of... I wrote it down in quotes because I tried to get it word for word. I don't remember it now because it's the morning after for me now. But I think he said you could not have a more unpredictable competitor win. Which just made me laugh because I predicted it. And I thought, surely other people saw this coming as well and thought, Baron Corbin's going to win this. Surely they went... Some other people. To me, if Sami Zayn would have won it, that would have been a lot more unpredictable, a more unpredictable competitor. Dolph Ziggler would have been, to be honest, to win it. So I just thought that was funny. I was trying to big up the unpredictability when I thought, I'm sure a lot of people probably saw that coming. I'm not proclaiming myself some sort of genius for seeing that coming. I thought that was pretty clear as day. But yeah, you know, that's just them building the hype, isn't it? Overall, I enjoyed the show. I wouldn't say it's the best Money in the Bank pay-per-view ever. I wouldn't say it was... Did I say it was the worst? I'd have to go back and watch them all to judge that. But I don't think it'd end up being the worst if I watched them all back to back, because, you know, it was quite a good show. I quite enjoyed it. Overall, I got 4 out of the 5 match results right, and every match resulted in someone leaving with a possession at Money in the Bank. Every match that was pre-announced, the Breezango Ascension one obviously didn't, but every pre-announced match resulted in someone leaving with something, whether it was a championship or a briefcase, and I got all 5 of those right. So let me know how you did in the comment section down below. Let me know what you thought of the show. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more WWE content from me. And don't forget to share with your friends if you think they would enjoy this video. But for now, all I have left to say is thank you very much for watching. As always, I've been Ibeza. You've been amazing. And I will see you next time.
He wants to keep going now. He's delivering an old-fashioned butt kicking right here. Get out of that. Shoulders down. Championship on the line. This has been a rule. You're right about that, Cole. This has been one of the most physical battles I've witnessed in a long, long time. The champ counters, and as the look at this. He's going back to an old friend with that one. You're right about that. You got to remember what works. Hey, Cole, this could do it. I think so. WWE Championship is on the line. That's what I love about this match. It's for all the marbles, Cole. It doesn't get any bigger than this here in the WWE. The WWE Championship. What a match this should be. That's a first. What a move. Definitely sets a tone for the evening. I like it. The quick reversal there by Baron Corbin. The champ just one step quicker. The Breaker doing some damage. Oh, Dr. Quick. He's showing no signs of letting up. What a move. What a smart move. And what a reversal from Baron Corbin. It could be over here. Yeah, maybe. Look out. Baron Corbin is measuring. How's that for ferocious? Looks like someone hit the repeat button for this move. Yeah. Brutal. Second time around. Seems to work, though. Hey, he's going for it again. Here's the cover for the win. Wow, this is huge. What a win. Baron Corbin is the new champion.
Here's your winner and the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Baron Corbin.
New champion, I don't believe it. And neither does the former champ that appears to be stunned and astonished. Look at the look on that face. They can't believe it.